to obesity, insulin resistance, diabetes, fatty liver disease, high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, neurological disorders, and dying too soon all have in common. So, a poor metabolism doesn't help. In particular, many of them are linked to having too much uric acid in the body. Not only are our metabolisms broken, but the most significant problems, the leading causes of death on Earth, not COVID, are downstream metabolic problems like chronic degenerative diseases that are way beyond epidemic. It's important because 88% of adults in the United States have at least one part of the metabolic syndrome. Drop Acid by Dr. David Perlmutter, The Surprising New Science of Uric Acid. Drop Acid is a new book by Dr. David Perlmutter, a best-selling author in the New York Times. He is on the board of directors and a fellow of the American College of Nutrition. He says in the book that he was inspired to do this after being surprised by how little nutrition was taught in medical school. He is on the editorial board of the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease and has written a lot for scientific journals that his peers have reviewed. His books have been translated into 32 languages. Some of our favorites are Grain Brain, the #1 New York Times bestseller, Brainmaker, and Brainwash. And it's not too much of an exaggeration to say that these books have led to a tectonic shift in how people think about how diet, the microbiome, and lifestyle choices affect our risk for so many of the symptoms and diseases that affect Americans today. Drop Acid came out in February, introducing a revolutionary idea that uric acid is a crucial cause of metabolic dysfunction and that we can achieve optimal health by controlling uric acid. This is a massive addition to the field. A lot of research backs it, but it wasn't discussed in the mainstream metabolic health conversation until this year. So today, we'll talk about how it leads to insulin resistance and metabolic diseases and what we can do about it. Keeping uric acid under control is the key to good metabolic health. When people try to improve their metabolic health, they can sometimes give up. Even if someone makes significant changes to their diet, works out a lot, and does their best in all the other lifestyle factors, it may still be hard to reach goals like losing weight or lowering blood sugar. So many times, we've heard people say that there must be something else or that they must be missing something. They are right, too. Even though the health risks of having too much uric acid were first written about in the late 1800s, uric acid's central role in metabolic disorders didn't become widely known until the last few years. Yes, we've known for a long time that uric acid plays a role in things like gout and kidney stones, but it wasn't until recently that its role as a key player in metabolic disorders was fully proven. The title of a 2016 research paper, Uric Acid in Metabolic Syndrome, From an Innocent Bystander to a Central Player, is imposing. What the authors say is, once thought to be a harmless byproduct of metabolism, uric acid has recently been linked to several long-term diseases, such as high blood pressure, metabolic syndrome, diabetes, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and chronic kidney disease. These authors and many others are now talking about how uric acid is the leading cause of metabolic chaos. And scientific research shows that metabolic health can be significantly improved by recognizing uric acid for what it is, the missing link that can be controlled and allows metabolism to return to normal. The dangers of uric acid. There is no doubt that uric acid raises the risk of death, with many deaths linked to heart disease and stroke. A level of uric acid of 7 is terrible. One study in the 2018 issue of Annals of Rheumatism followed 90,000 adults, 42,000 men and 48,000 women for 8 years. They found that people with a uric acid level of 7 or higher had a 16% higher risk of all-cause mortality, which means they could have died from anything. They had a 38% higher risk of dying from heart disease, 32% more likely to die from a stroke. And it's interesting that for every point of elevation above 7, which we see every day, the risk of all-cause mortality, or dying from any cause, goes up by 8% to 13%. How to get rid of uric acid in the body without drugs. 1. Avoid sugar. Considering our genes, we have no reason to eat more sugar than we need daily. We only need to eat 0 grams of sugar a day. We don't need anything else. Sugary foods. High uric acid levels are often caused by eating a lot of protein, but sugar may also play a role. Fructose is a natural sugar that you can find in honey and fruit. When your body breaks down fructose, it gives off purines and makes more uric acid. Table sugar, corn syrup, and high fructose corn syrup are also sugar added to food. Follow these steps to cut down on the amount of sugar you eat. Eat more unprocessed foods. Cut down on processed and packaged foods. Check the labels to see if there are any added sugars. Fill your sweet tooth with fresh fruit. Sugary beverages. The amount of fructose in a carton of fruit juice is much higher than what our genes tell us we need or can handle. Sugar is often found in drinks, soda, and fresh fruit juices. The main problem is fructose, which is found in apple juice and orange juice. It says, orange juice made from real oranges. In a glass, there are 36 grams of sugar. And that doesn't make any sense. Because drinks don't have fiber, protein, or other nutrients, their fructose is absorbed faster than sugars in whole foods. Researchers have found that the faster absorption of refined sugars causes your blood sugar to rise and gives you more uric acid in your body. Instead of sugary drinks, try water. Sparkling water. Unsweetened herbal, black, or green tea. Coffee without added sugar. 2. Avoid alcohol. When you drink alcohol, you can lose more water. Research shows that it can also lead to high levels of uric acid. Beer is by far the worst player. Because it has a higher amount of purines than the others. But even alcoholic drinks that are low in purines can cause the body to make more purines. Alcohol speeds up the way nucleotides, another source of purines that can be turned into uric acid, are broken down in the body. Alcohol also changes the rate at which uric acid is secreted, which can cause the level of uric acid in the blood to rise. 3. Eat more foods with fiber. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. 5 apples a day, the doctor you will pay. Uric acid levels can go down if you eat more fiber. Fiber can also help keep your insulin and blood sugar levels healthy. It also tends to make people feel fuller, making them less likely to overeat. Most adults should try to get between 22 and 34 grams of fiber from foods like chickpeas, lentils, nuts, brown rice, quinoa, oats, spinach, broccoli, pears, apples. Slowly add more fiber to your diet to avoid stomach pain. 4. Boost vitamin C intake. Some research has shown that getting a lot of vitamin C can help lower the amount of uric acid in the body. But more research is needed to find out how vitamin C affects the amount of uric acid in the body. Talk to your doctor about whether or not adding more vitamin C to your diet could be helpful. Most adults should get between 75 milligrams and 120 milligrams of vitamin C daily, but the most they can take is 2,000 milligrams. You can eat more fruits and vegetables to get more vitamin C from your food. Oranges, grapefruit, kiwi, strawberries, cantaloupe, red and green peppers, broccoli, tomatoes. There are also vitamin C supplements you can buy without a prescription. 5. Have a cherry, benefit of quercetin. According to research, people with gout can lower their uric acid levels by eating cherries and drinking cherry juice. More research needs to be done to find out how cherry consumption affects uric acid levels in the long run. Cherries are red because they are made up of anthocyanins and quercetin, an antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compound. Also, they have a lot of fiber and vitamin C. You could snack on a handful of cherries or drink tart cherry juice that hasn't been sweetened. Dr. David Perlmutter also says in passing that quercetin is a dietary supplement. Almost as good as the drug allopurinol, gout pill. In one study, 22 young men with mildly high uric acid levels were given 500 milligrams of quercetin daily for 8 weeks. In that time, their uric acid levels dropped by about 8%. You can stop your xanthine oxidase from working right now by taking 500 milligrams of quercetin or 100 milligrams of luteolin every day. You can also help your body get rid of uric acid by taking 500 milligrams of vitamin C daily. This is the end of the day. In the following video, we'll talk about how uric acid affects blood sugar and body fat and how recent scientific studies have helped us understand its role in diabetes, being overweight, and being obese. If you found today's video helpful, please subscribe, like it, and don't miss the next one. If this video is helping you, share this video on your SNS. Sharing is caring.